This video is to show you how to insert a table and attach some CSS styles to it. I'm going to click on Insert Table. I'm going to choose 3 rows, 3 columns. My table width, I'm going to do it in percent so that when I do it for max 480 width, that 90% actually would be the same if I were to shrink that to a handheld. Border thickness, I'll keep that 0 for now. Here's a header, that's fine. It'll make the header center and bold. And then I could do a caption if I wish. So I will, I'll do green tips. Click OK. So here's my caption. Here is my table header, which actually is TH. And then row is TR, and then individual cells would be table data. So that means that I can put a style on the whole table, on just the table header, just the table rows, or within the table data. Just depends on what I want to do. If I think I want to center all the text in each one of these cells. So if I go and create a CSS style sheet, I can create one for table and go ahead and ask for text align center. And I think I also want to move it over to the right a little bit. So I'm going to click on my tag called table here, and I'm going to go to green styles, and I want to add a CSS style sheet for my table, which is in my content. So I'll click on content. I have my table tag selected, and I'll click plus, and I'll just keep it the way it is there. I could change it to content table if I wanted to, but that's fine. And so on my content section table, I'm going to go to my layout, and I'm going to choose a margin of, I'm going to go move it over to the left a little bit. That looks about right. A little bit more. And I'm also going to my text align as center. Okay, so if I wanted to populate my table here, I would type in home, work, play. Recycle newspaper. All right. All right, so let me do one more. Okay, so here's my table. Everything looks good. I'll probably just want to put a border on everything. If I put a border around table, it would just put it around the table, but I want it around every cell. So I can actually do a CSS style for TR, table row, or just with table data, or table row, table header, and table data, and have it do it all borders. So I'll start with table row, and I'll make sure I'm in content section table and click plus. And kind of didn't go where I wanted it to go, so I'm going to grab it and pull it up. And not really what I want, so I'm going to do table TR, comma, table header, comma, and table data. And what I want from these three is just a border. 1 pixel thick, solid, and I'll just use black. So there you go. I could border the table caption as well. I'll just leave that with that same style. That's fine. And then basically I'm done. So if I wanted to look at it on Chrome, I click yes. And it looks good, except see how there's little spaces in between my border here? That's called a border collapse. So I go back to Dreamweaver and I go into, I'm just going to go into the big table, content section table, and I'm going to open up, and I'm going to type in border collapse, and I'm going to type in collapse. And that should take care of the spaces in between that border. Yep, and it did. And if you notice, because I put 90% on the width of that, you'll notice that if I go to responsive design, it works both in responsive design and in the other. Although maybe I might want to fix it in responsive design to be like 80 or 75% the window size as opposed to what I have now, which I think is 90%. So what I could do is I could highlight this content section here, table, and I could copy it. And if I go to Max, I could paste it and do table width. How about, let's do 60%. And I think that would make that table shrink a little bit more and resize just right. Ooh, maybe that's too small. Or not. We can change it to 70. Okay, well, you get the idea. You can also mess with the margin, the left margin. If you go to this and you have a left margin of 41, maybe you can change that margin to 20, 30. See what that looks like. Yeah, that looks better. Anyway, that's how you do tables.